Okay. I know you've talked in the book and in other places a lot about thinking ahead when you're doing deals and also just with growth programs in general. What do you mean by, taking in consideration a set of moves rather than just an individual move?
One of the traps that we fall into in growth in general, in investment in general, in acquisition in particular, is to pick things up one by one and look at them and say, I'm not sure that I want to do this transaction or this deal because it's either too big and too expensive or it's too small, it doesn't move the needle. And we find a lot of companies get caught in the doom loop that says, well, I can't find anything to buy because of one of those two traps. What you'd like to do is have a growth pathway or a set of themes and to say, in order to get to that growth pathway, there are a series of puzzle pieces that I could put together. And if I put them together in the right order and in the right sequence, I actually wind up with something better than where I started. So this notion of a pathway and capabilities is very much the way successful managers have grown in their business. You get put into a job, that job stretches you, you learn some capabilities, you succeed. You then get put into another job that leverages the capabilities you had but requires you to learn something new. And that continuous process is how you move up in your career, and the day that stops is the day you stop moving up. For many companies, it's the same kind of a process.
So the idea, though, is as you think about these plays over time, capabilities become a critical element in terms of what you're building and what you're leveraging?
Capabilities become the glue. There is the error, we believe, of chasing after market positions as opposed to recognizing that a successful market position is the outcome of applying advantage capabilities. There's certainly the era of chasing after outcomes, growth or profits, as opposed to, again, recognizing that those are the outcome of applying advantage capabilities. So we would argue that growth is about the business of building and acquiring advantage capabilities and then, of course, deploying them in an appropriate way. What we like to advise at a tactical level is that, let's say I'm trying to find some growth plays or renewal plays. Usually what I'll do is brainstorm a bunch of directions, try to put them together into some coherent themes. And in my mind, a theme is a series of plays, what I call puzzle pieces, that have this coherence or linkage amongst them. And then I put them in a sequence that says, if I can do this one first, be successful, learn some things, apply those things then into the next set of opportunities, learn some new things to pursue that set of opportunities, exactly the pathway that I use in my personal development analogy. I can actually sketch that map out. If I have that map sketched out, what I will observe is that there are places where there are capabilities that I just don't have, and I have to answer the question, how am I going to get them? And I can either invent them or innovate them on my own, I can borrow them in the form of an alliance, or I can go and acquire them. And if I have this roadmap, I've now pulled together in one place my innovation capability, my alliance capability, my acquisition capability, so that they're connected, unlike one of the problems that we talked about at the outset. They're connected as one tapestry as opposed to being individual disconnected threads. It also allows me to figure out what to do about acquisitions that arise out of sequence. I mean, if I know where I'm going and all of a sudden an opportunity pops up, I can say, okay, I see where this now fits in the overall scheme of things.